Hello, hello. This is Trollbait, and this is my first time trying to record myself doing some Poxnora. Not a professional, have mercy on me. I'm gonna play a game or two using my Draksar AP Denial. I figure I'd go through what I'm using and the reason why I'm using each. So the basic concept behind the deck is that you're trying to reduce the amount of AP efficiency the enemy has while maximizing your own. And there are a couple mechanics that allow us to take advantage of that. So going from the champs, we've got Akakios. I'd so prefer the website, but this looks nicer. But I find the website more easy to manage for myself. The Akakios, currently running Surge, Draksar, and Sapping Armor on him. Surge ties him into the theme, although I wonder if he'd be better with Conqueror in general. There's a higher potential for Surge, but some more upfront power in Conqueror. Sapping Armor is what ties him into this particular flavor of Draksar. Whenever people attack into him, they'll be losing AP. He's really strong. People have known he's strong. Now that he has Unspeakable, it makes it to where you really don't want to drop him early on, because then you really just don't get the value. But I tend to not favor dropping 90 plus Nora units early anyways. I don't know, it just rubs me wrong. So at the moment, he's kind of a mid-game deploy, help close things out a little bit. And if he dies, then he further debuffs the enemy. So the whole idea with him is he's tough, he's going to sap their AP, and if he does die, any attack they do manage to get is just, it's not going to get a lot of value because of the minus damage. So overall, he's really good. You have a single archer running exploit and inhibiting touch. I was running precision on him for a little while, but we have another rune that provides precision, and inhibiting touch ended up being a little bit more useful. This deck isn't one that will always blow something up fast. It will often, but sometimes the archer is just great for the long haul, playing for the long game. The Sundered Exploit is the first of the methods to take advantage of their wasted AP. This deck uses many different ways to sap their AP. So Sundered Exploit does trigger off of Fatigued, which means they have 0 AP. So extra damage and extra AP on him works great. Fairly simple, otherwise it's your standard Draksar Archer. He's probably my least preferable ranged option. The first preferable ranged option is the Draksar Flashblade. Everything about this guy plays into what we want to do. He has Ponderous Blows, so it increases the AP cost of their actions. It's fantastic. He scales with Violent, running Punish and Cull. This means he will always be doing extra damage. If they have AP, it will sap their AP, do some extra health point loss. And if they have 0 AP, he'll be doing 4 additional damage with Cull, so it's a nice burst damage there. Not running Exploit on him because I'd rather the Punish. And Blind, I've thought about running, but I like the potential with Cull. Cull just spikes his damage up to a nice 15, easy. So that's been really nice. The only downside with him is he doesn't have regen, and that does come up later. I'll explain why. Then we've got the Gunner. I have really grown to like the Gunner quite a bit. He's got built-in precision. Running him with Punish and Piercing Shot 3. Punish, again, it's just his whole role is to sap AP. And when you don't need to, you use Piercing Shot. That's kind of the whole deal. It's very simple otherwise. The Hunchback used to run 2 of him when he had Absorb. They changed it. This is going to be the first time running him without Absorb, using Slowing Armor and Rebuke. Sapping Armor, obviously, it's the same deal as Akakios, and actually Akakios was put in after taking out the second Hunchback, so we'll see how I like it if this works out or not. Trying Slowing Armor, it'll be really interesting to see, Sapping Armor then becoming slowed, minusing their speed. That actually could be kind of brutal over time. We'll see if it does well enough. He's not going to be as tanky. He's going to go down easier to range, which is my worry, but we'll see what happens. Rebuke is a little bit more niche, but it comes up a lot. They can't play Pygmy Hippo Stampede around him. They can play Initiative Champs, but it absolutely nukes them like if they get coming with a full 7 AP, that's 21 damage just right off the bat. It's really, really good. Um, I like it a lot. I would run him with Unstoppable otherwise, but the Rebuke, I just find the value of Rebuke too high in what this deck wants to do. If I was running him with Unstoppable, I would consider a single Forbidden Fruit, but as not, just running him as this. 74 Nora makes him decent. Then we've got a single Interrogator. I was running Punish for a little while, but I actually decided to switch to Shred to deal with high armor. I don't know, or high defense, I apologize. I don't know that I actually need it. We will see. If not, I will either switch to Swordbreaker or Punish. He's really utility, and where he comes into this is if you are running Punish on him, then he can sap AP, but his real value is Drive. He increases your own AP on your side and gives them extra damage as well. I run him at 71 with Regen 2. Regen 2 is just, in my opinion, the best bang for buck. Regen 3 is too expensive, and I feel like Regen 1 just doesn't do enough. We've got 2 Draksar Masters. He actually has the highest damage potential in the deck with running Logistics Flanking and Cull. I usually have him as my second deploy if I have him, because my first deploy I'd rather tank out than this guy. But he's really good because with Cull active and Logistics Flanking active, that means he's sitting at 20 damage if you've got someone to trigger flanking. So he's really, really good value for that. He has Violence, so he can continue to scale, and he has Regen too. So this guy's actually decently survivable. He's not a pure tank, he's a beater, but I found he works really, really well. The Pursuer is a more recent attempt. I was running a couple other runes. I was running Raven Speaker and something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. I always like running with Detection in my deck. I don't like running without it. There is a couple particular stealth specters running around, and it's just obnoxious, and I just rather have Detection. And this guy used to have Sundered Exploit base. They took that away. So right now running Sundered Exploit and another Logistics Flanking champ. So he actually can be up to 16 damage, generating some extra AP with Regen 1 and Violent. So we'll see how well he does. Again, this is kind of an attempt, but he's more mobile. He can jump around, helps on certain maps. If I wasn't running Exploit, I'd run Entangle, because that just helps reduce AP efficiency again on enemies. They have to continue to move. It makes him better at font harassing. So we'll see. He's not really run as a font harasser in this variety, and I don't know if I will regret that or not. We'll see. Flagellum is kind of the OG AP Denial thematic rune, and the one that really benefits from what this deck does. He punishes, so he'll remove their AP. I run Surge Draksar for the damage and Entangle, which the Surge does buff up the damage from Entangle. Again, it reduces their AP efficiency, helps them not move around. I could do Jolt, but honestly, usually when he's moving in, whatever is being targeted is going to die, and I usually don't need Jolt. Electricity Aura is same thing. Usually, if something moves in, it's going to die. Entangle's what's used from range to kind of poke. Terminus makes it where he's always generating AP from all the different ways that AP is denied. Every turn, meaning your opponent's turn as well. So oftentimes it's actually efficient to run out all of his AP, because if they're going to be attacking into, for example, sapping armor and losing the amount of AP, you can get extra. Sometimes it can be hard to calculate. You'll have to kind of get used to it and play it through it, but I like it. It's a lot of fun. Take Prisoner, it has its uses. It's not always great. It's not always bad. Do pay attention. Sometimes you can just kill a unit, because if they have a banner out and you possess something with 15 or with like 10 health, it's going to reduce them down to 5. So if they actually have less than 5 health and with a banner out and you possess them, they're going to instantly die. There's a couple problems when it comes to things I wish were in the deck that you can't run. I like to run Legion Standard for spot Iron Will. I can't run that in this deck if I'm trying to really use Take Prisoner, because it'll just undo it immediately. Doesn't work. Same thing with the Draksar Lord. I want to run him, but this just anti-synergistic, unfortunately. Nora Induction kind of sucks, so I try not to attack with them until I actually need to kill something, because then giving 2 to 4 Nora for an enemy death is not bad at all. So, and he's got Regen too, so he's reasonably survivable. Decent chunk of health, you know, armor 1, so with SL bonus, -3 from all the damage. He's pretty good. I like him. Priest of Fury. This one is my tech pick. I put him in here for the Dispel. Spoiler, I'm not a high-ranking player, and I will frequently go against certain decks like Winning Numbers, and Winning Numbers and people like him love to run Super Champs. And it's really useful to have a repeatable Dispel. That's really the reason why this guy's in there. So he's really only dropped in, but I run him with Draconic Force so that he's always relevant. And Set Ablaze can be really useful because they still gain AP, so you can still sap them because they're pacified, so they'll still generate AP. It's not like Petrified. No, Petrified they still gain AP. No, Petrified they're set to 0. So this one lets them gain AP, so you can still punish it from them and deal with that. Firebomb is kind of like the cleanse and dispel thing. You don't use it for damage. His damage is 9, so this is gonna only do like 4 or 5 damage at best. It will char things, so that's kind of nice, but it's not that much damage. And your allies won't get charred because of his purging flames. So yeah, just run one of him. He's one of the ranged options. Paradigm is one of the main beaters, especially now that one of the main front lines, since the Hunchback is kind of taking a side to a degree. We'll find out. If I really like Hunchback, I might take a Kekios out again and put Hunchback back in. We'll see. I'm always changing things. He heals 4 every turn, so he's got the durability, 1 armor, 48 health. Not bad. Wish he had 50 or more, but it is what it is. He's got an alternate range attack, which is nice. I run him with Spur and Sapping Armor. Sapping Armor, of course, because AP Denial. But Spur just makes it to where he will go from 7 speed to great. I think that there's a nerf coming for him. I don't know. People are talking about how he shouldn't be 7 speed. I'm kind of done with the whole nerf this and SL, nerf this and SL. In my opinion, SL is the most balanced faction right now. The numbers from last Dawn of War showed that. We were literally like 0.05% away from 50% win rate. We're fine. The big stuff got hit. I think we're fine. But that's just my own opinion. Maybe there's a couple things, like if he lost 1 speed, I would still run him. It's not that bad. I'm just attached to it. But I think he's fine. Could he be toned down? Sure. Reduces cost a little bit at the same time. I don't think he needs anything to compensate. If he just reduces speed, just reduces cost. Just be fine. So those are the champs. The spells, running anti-magic field. A lot of times this deck can survive champions because they're losing AP, right? So they can't attack a lot. But spells and stuff are really what will come down and kill you. So this makes it to where if you understand the kind of the flow of the game, you can drop this out. I like this better than Cancel, just because Cancel, you kind of really have to anticipate what's going on, and certain spells can avoid it because of their cost. Straight up removal will still get rid of you. Drown, vertical push, but vertical push won't damage you when it drops you, so that's nice if it drops within this time, but it still removes you from the board, which is annoying. Channel Violence, the standard Draksar, but this actually bleeds into the theme of maximizing AP because you get multi-attack. Fireblaze for damage and shinies. Force Transfusion is both thematic and very, very good for breaking up stalemates. A lot of times a turtle effect will happen. You can send in a tank and Terminus in the middle of an enemy group, and it will drastically reduce the potential of what they can do because all of a sudden they've got all the stored AP that's just gone. And since this is sapping AP too, it'll also trigger the Terminus of the Flagellum. So if you've got a Flagellum out, they'll also gain AP from the sucking up of enemy AP. Magnetize, anti-relic, anti-summons. It's definitely more for the anti-summons. I don't run really dedicated to anti-relic unless there are more than 1 relic, or the relic is truly that problematic. It just kind of depends. So you can hit your own unit if you need to get rid of a relic, but I'd really rather save this for summons when it's appropriate. Purge, I was running Dragon God Staff, but this deck has a couple particular champs that I really want to put the equips on, so I started running Purge instead, just to make sure that they can stay clean. And I don't have buffs. Like, there's nothing on my champs that I'm going buffing my guys except maybe Draconic Force, and that's getting applied after quickening, I mean, after purge if I use it. So there's nothing here that they're like buffing themselves with that this is going to remove. Not off the top of my head anyway. Hopefully I'm not forgetting something. Quickening, it's my power turn spell of choice. I don't use Draconic Benediction because in this one, especially getting extra attacks, I like it being more guaranteed than the extra AP. I don't run, there's not a lot of alternate abilities that I want to be using, and oftentimes I'm already in position to utilize Quickening, so I find it's just more valuable. The relics, I tend to like running 6 relics and equipment combos. I just do. Sunderlands has really good ones. Fault Marker, again, sapping AP when enemies make attacks. It makes it actually relatively durable, despite not having any armor. It's still only 28 HP. But this is a really great contesting relic. Against things that you know have Intimidate, you end up sometimes just having to deploy it in the back to protect it, so you have the Fearless. It's the best thing we have, since we don't run Iron Will in this deck. Scouring Jasper, I like this one a lot over the Hive. It does more damage, it costs more. I think they did actually remove the armor, so it's no longer armored. But Scoured also triggers Exploit, technically, so it does have some extra synergy there for the couple champs that really can use it. War Banner, because War Banner. And I'm going to skip over Maul real quick. Indignation, it gives you Cull, Energy Thief. So Cull is, obviously working into this deck strategy of sapping AP and then gaining benefit. Putting it on the Paradigm, a Kekios, or anyone else who doesn't have Cull already, and it's really, really good because, at that point they are soaking in AP as people try and move away or try and engage, and makes them much more dangerous. It actually turns even just the Humble Hunchback into a danger with 14 damage against 0 AP stuff. The equipment that I had been trying to figure out where to find a way to use it was actually the Bone Splitter Maul. Because oh man, this just didn't seem very good. Because we do have a lot of warriors, but most decks don't run a ton of warriors. Or they don't really care about making sure there's a lot of warriors in there. It provides Hunter Fighter, which is okay. It comes up. Execute. That's where its real value is, being able to increase the damage you're doing by 50%. So if you certain champs I'll show that this really works out well on. And Exertion comes in later. This is actually where I liked putting on Flashblade. Yes, Flashblade's a warrior, but he doesn't have regen. So he's losing 8 HP every time he does this. At best, he's got regen from the font bonus, but it's a very slow thing. So you do have to be careful. Use the Exertion when needed, not just because. And with that, you usually want to put it on either the Flashblade because ranged execute, but again, they don't have sustain, so it is what it is. Draksar Master, he'll go up to 30 damage because of that 50% increase. And then the Pursuer after that, because he's got the logistics flanking as well, so he can get a good boost. But the Flashblade, the Gunner, the Master, the Pursuer, those are all warriors, so they can all benefit from the Bone Splitter Maul. And most everyone else can get Indignation, put on a Kekios, you can put on the Archer for the ranged Cull. You can put it on the Interrogator. Flagellum, unfortunately, is the one it's really not as good on because he's got 3 range, and it's a 1-2 is the claws, so he gets Cull, which is good if you want the damage, but he doesn't get the benefit of the Energy Thief. And I never put it on Priest of Fury. He's a utility champ. If he's out there, it's because I needed something range. I didn't have another option. But that is the deck, so we will go and give this a try. A couple of the champs you could be running in is basically anyone with the Sundered Exploit. The Serpenter Ardent was one of them, but I removed him because I wasn't using him super often. He wasn't proving to be super relevant. It felt like win more whenever I was using him, so the deck doesn't rely on him. And let's queue up and find out who we're going to get. All right, finally got into a game here. Daniel Exo. I'm not actually familiar with Daniel Exo. So we'll find out what we're playing against. It looks like full faction SP. We'll see. A lot of people have a problem with this map because the like Savage Thunder and stuff can really shove you around into stuff, but oh, never mind. Apparently we're not playing that one, so have to just queue up again. Let's find out. I noticed that a lot of people, they hadn't been in games very long, so I don't know if there's actually going to be an opportunity, but we'll see. We will see. All right, so we're in here against Pona. So this will be interesting. I know that he's running Dwarves right now, so this will be fun. They do have some stuff that have some unstoppables, so we'll kind of see. They do have some decent ranged. I've got 3 range showing and my Hunchback. This makes me tempted to mulligan to see if I can get some more options, but we'll take the risk, and I'll drop Hunchback first and go from there. We'll see. Against Dwarves, they're going to have some decent range, tanky dudes. This might actually, if we can find the Interrogator, this might actually be a good spot for the Interrogator because they tend to have good defense as well. One nice thing about Anti-Magic Field too is it actually does stop. It does actually stop the Hammer Strike because Hammer Strike requires you to do damage in order to stun, if I remember correctly. So that actually is kind of nice if you foresee that coming. Just kind of depends. Yeah, so Sharpshooter. So yeah, so he comes in intoxicated, strike, so he avoids my armor. So my guy, this actually makes him far less durable now. The slow will be nice though, because that puts him at 4 speed, piercing shot. So it's actually, I think, a pretty good deploy on his part. It makes Storykins get some good value, high damage. Oh, see, this is the problem I have. I guess I will deploy Flashblade to go top. This is unfortunate. I don't want to do Archer. If I drop Archer, whatever he's got, I can ping at it more. And like they've got a lot of healing, but he's got the inhibiting touch. You know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to drop Archer, go top with Archer. I hate that. But it's fine. Not the worst thing that could happen. Grab his shrine, or his not shrine, his font. He can't aim this turn because he needs to get into the font next turn. Yeah, I knew he was going to drop him. Amplify healing. So here's the thing, I actually like Amplify healing going out because that turns my healing 6 into, what is it, 50%? Yeah, so that turns into healing 9. So that actually helps me a ton. And we're just going to be aggressive. Let's push our way in. Let's move him there. I don't need to put anything else out. I don't care if he stuns me. If he spends a spell on that, that's his loss. Spell Swallower. I have to watch that. I don't have any hidden spells or anything, so I'm not super worried. Armor. Enhance armor, train defense, defender, stat bonus. And so he dropped standard. He wanted to make sure I couldn't move in and stun him, which is fine. So he's going to do that. I'm going to just move over this way. I don't think he's got it. I can't think of anything that would be normally a knockback. So I'll move there. Be risky, play bold. Go into the font, take that. Here's the challenge. I need range, but at the same time, I always like getting my master out. He's got armor for frontline, easy target, more damage from range attacks, 2 defense. I'm actually going to drop my Interrogator, because this is actually a situation where the Interrogator could be really, really useful. We'll save Nora. I could just drop Anti-Magic. I don't think it's that important right now. 6 train defense. So he's got to spend more Nora. You can, yeah, I'm fine right now. This is just the Dwarven Phalanx. Because if he wants to get me, he's got to move, and he's going to be out of AP completely. And he'll be slow next turn, so... Like, he just did 9 damage, and I'm just going to heal that back. And so he's 4 defense. Yeah, so I'm going to be fine. And with the archer, he actually being able to stop the healing is going to be nice. Let's see, how does shred work? Has defense set to 0 and takes... So I wonder if that's actually something I don't know, is does it get around that? So let's pop this. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, so I don't have anyone to actually sap AP or really get a heavy benefit. So I'm going to drop Flash Blade in general. So he's got to move then. I can't get in range right now, so I'll just drop that. I'll be fine. I will... He can't kill me right now. He might stun me. He might hammer strike me. Let's make this a pain for him. I'm going to drop this. Keep him from doing that. The advantage with anti-magic is it's going to be much harder for him to deal with me. So yeah, so he's doing a strike plus that, so 14 damage. That's slowed. I should probably just back up, unfortunately. Vigilance, reinforcement. I might just bring the archer down. I don't really want to fight up top. Let's not. Let's just bring it down here. So he healed. So he's like only minus 11. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm trying to decide what I need here. I've got a front line. I don't know how effective it's gonna be. He's gonna have to move, and then he's gonna hit me and be slowed again. He can come up and hit me. He'll be in range of him to shred. Cooldown 2, that could be good. I'm gonna drop a master. This will also, well, I guess logistics will be triggered instantly, yeah. Let's get him out, increase my efficiency for future. Dwarven King, so he's gonna be, so this guy's gonna be a problem. He's gonna come in, and there is Ewan to wreck my day. Minus 21. Let's see. 6. How's that only healing 6? All healing is increased. So is that not affecting me? When chance he gains? Yeah, so... Oh, I misread that. I thought he had healing regen 3. I was probably reading it just after he had a font bonus. I think I don't have much of a choice. I need to... Just engage me. I really don't like that. So I'll tell you what, let's hang back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's hang back. He can't attack again here soon, so where's Rebuke? Yeah. So yeah, he's stacking all the defense, so let's play it safe. Let's drop this gentleman. Good enough. Probably could have spent the AP on Hunchback, but it's fine. I need to be careful here. So yeah, so aim now. He's going to get +1 range for this next turn. Where's the equip? Where did I miss the equip? Or is that the train? Is that the ability? Is that what it sounds like when he trains? Hardens his enemies, armor, enhances. Yeah, that's the enhanced sound. I don't know how this is going to go. This is going to be messy. So I'm going to heal back 6. Oh, sorry, 4. Enough. Battle hardened. And I think enhanced is just something I can't get rid of that on my own. So this guy, he's going to have 1 precision. He still can't make more than 1 attack, but he will be able to piercing shot. So one, two, three. I'm just gonna poke. Run him away. That was literally just for the punish. Start working on him. This is gonna get nasty with any major AoE spells. I might just return drop. Or do I want to just keep dropping champs? Oh. Drop this. Not the most efficient AP usage, but he's just going to be building up his defenses. Armor keeps giving more and more. Yeah, I knew he was going to do something like that. He's going to charge into my archer. If he charges into my archer, though, I'm pretty sure I can kill him. He can make 1 attack. I don't know that he's got it right now. Oh, there he can make 2 attacks. Yeah, so archer's probably dead. this is where I need to take advantage of it. What can I do? I can crack the whip. We'll see. Battle Master, Battle Leader, yeah. So he didn't get the Battle Leader kill, which was good. Oh, that's a juicy punish. That is really hard to not suck up. That is really hard. So I kind of want to drop that down. Force Transfusion will sap all of that. One, two, three, four. So I can get a pot shot off. That's likely going to get my dude killed. Maybe. Maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about this? Let's do a little spell spammy. Let's do boop. Let's go 4. Down to there. Let's go to there. Punish that. Do that. I am going to let's do 6. Let's do this guy here. And let's get Flagellum out. A little late, but whatever. He'll take some initial hits. Yeah, he's going to Magic Blast me here. Could he kill my Flashblade is the concern. He might. I'm a little worried about that. There we go. There's some damage. Okay, so there's that. So spell spamming out, so he's going to try and kill Hunchback. We'll find out. Hunchback's going to die, though. He's going to have to move. How did he not gain slow? So he gained slow, but he didn't. Okay. So he still can't do 2 hits. This might be an unfortunate loss on my end. Which, that happens, right? There's nothing you can do half the time against that. I know that they've got -6 damage, but, like, from spells, but that's a juicy target. That's highly tempting. Let's do... This isn't... I don't think this is smart, but I'm going to do it anyway. 8 damage. He's got armor 2. Yeah, I can kill him with a single shot here. Okay, what did I miss? Something I missed. I missed something. Let's see. I think I've lost this. I think I've played stupid enough to where I don't know that I can do anything else, but... Yeah, the amp healing. I don't actually see healing. If I could find a Kakios, that would have been nice to be able to just drop him, but... So he's slow. The problem is this guy's been ramping up his damage from the Spell Swallower, so... Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's gaining. I don't know that I can fight this. Dwarves are pretty cracked. Yeah, that's going to be game. I'll just go ahead and surrender that one. And on to the next. Let's see if we can find something else. After sitting for a few more months, I saw the time on the recording on this, and I figured 40 minutes is plenty long. Yeah, so that was a little rough going into the Dwarves. The problem is whenever you go into another super tanky phalanx, I feel like my deck, at least, it does struggle a little bit. Go figure, like, it had to be into IS. IS is just super tough, in my opinion, with the amount of armor that those dwarves and stuff can throw out. It makes you feel like you're going into a mirror almost, but then they have the spell protection too, so it gets a little frustrating for me, but it is what it is, and I think at certain points I always make the mistakes. Like, I'm not a high level player like that. I'll be straight up honest with that one. But this is the first time that I've decided to do this recording, so I'm going to try to continue to do it, make it with some other decks, cover a couple different archetypes and things. I definitely want to do it with my Acid, maybe Mutants, but definitely my Sand deck. Maybe play some Skis. And maybe I'll dip into some other fun things. We've got a brand like deck that's ISSL split. In case it's not Aves, I like to play SL mostly. I dabble in a couple other Wrath, and I have tried some Savage Tundra, but in general, I tend to stick to Sundered Lands. It's what I know. It's what I know best. I understand the champs and their balance a lot better than any of the others, so I can get really ragey against things like Fogler Swamp, but I just don't understand the balance of Fogler Swamp versus Sundered Lands. It's the reason why I like talking about the Paradigm speed. I think he's fine as is, but if you really felt like you needed to tone him down, just removing one speed from him would be fine. Just reduce his cost. Stuff like that. But anyways, thank you all for watching if you did, and if not, I guess I'm talking to myself. But it was fun. See you around the bend.